I don't like to do this, but I'm going to record it. Okay, so we're recording, so y'all be on your best behavior. All right, here we go. Try this again. Okay, for somebody who is, I can't tell who it is, if you can just make sure you're muted, that would be great so that there's not background noise. Awesome. Okay, so welcome, friends. I'm your Jedi Mama. My name is Jill. For those of you that are new and this is your first meeting, thank you for joining in tonight. We always have a meeting the first Sunday of each month, and it's for my entire downline. So all Jedi, all across the United States and Australia and New Zealand, we're all here. So super fun to be a part of this each month. So if you're new, what I want you to do is shout your name out on the chat box down there and say hi, and tell us where you're from. I want to see it. And I also want you to shout out and tell me about your month last month. Who ranked up? Who completed a fast start? Who had their first team member? Who had their first home party? Like anything that you're excited about that has something to do with Jamberry, I want to see it. So give it to me. I'm going to make that screen small for a second so I can read. I feel like we had lots of really great stuff happen last month. So there should be lots of good stuff on there. Keep going. So anybody else that wants to shout something out, or if you had somebody on your team that did really something great and maybe they're not on here, you can totally shout them out too. I would love to see it. So just FYI, this whole chat box thing gets saved and I print it out at the end of the meeting. So I go back and read what everybody has written. So I may not see what you're writing about right now, but I'll see it definitely later. Okay. Next, news and announcements. So quickly, we're going to just kind of go through this stuff. We missed our team challenge last month. I'd put it out there that I would love to do better, which was my highest DRV ever, which was $82,000. Was hoping to beat that last month. We did not do that. However, completely blown away in November. You guys were, man, that last week was really unbelievable. So thank you all for working so hard and being so awesome. I actually ranked up last month, which is something that I haven't done in over a year. So it was super, super great for me. And so I just wanted to say thanks for working so hard and for being so awesome, because my ranks directly come from you guys being great. So thank you for that. Our highest PRV was from Kelly in Australia, and she had 2,088 PRV. We actually had several people that were like right there in that same kind of within $100 of each other. So really awesome PRV last month. Great job. Fun fact, Giving Tuesday, which was December 1st, we did over $11,000 in DRV in that one day, which was actually bigger than Black Friday, which is kind of super awesome. New products, so we've got the glow-in-the-dark wraps that are available, the charity wraps, which are super cute and for an awesome cause. The bundles are coming this week. And then, of course, still the holiday boxes. So all of that's there for you guys to sell and, put out there. The shipping cutoff for America is the 15th. And Chantel or Sonia, either one of you, if you can just please remind everybody what the shipping date is for Australia, just type it in that chat box just to make sure that people know that. And then summits. So summits are coming up. It's going to be super fun. They've decided to do them in movie theaters this year for the catalog release. It's going to be something new and fun, and I think just a really, really great time. So we should be hearing more about that on the 15th. I will be definitely setting up an event for here in Charlotte. I think that there's going to be another probably large crowd in Nashville. So I'm probably going to ask some girls to take the lead on that to kind of do another big Jedi group from there. I would like for, we're going to talk about this more in a minute, but just know that that's coming. And then the other thing that I want to remind you guys of is the Secret Santa. So those of you that signed up to do Secret Santa, please make sure that you have that on your list of things to do and that gets mailed out by the 15th of December. Okay. So the first thing I want us to do first is stop and book a party. So I know that December is busy and people have got stuff going on. So we don't necessarily tonight have to book a party for December, but I would like for you to try to book a party for January because January is a big month for parties. So I always like for people to stop and do this at the beginning and see kind of what happens. So if you end up over the course of this meeting getting someone to book a party with you, shout it out and put it in the chat box. Like I said, I won't be able to see it right now, but I will be super pumped to see that. So there's you a little blurb if you want to use that, or of course use something that maybe sounds like you. This is totally what I use. Okay, moving on. All right, reach down. Incentive that we always do. So for those of you that are new, I'm sure some of you maybe have even gotten this message from me or from one of your other leaders. But basically what this is about is we want you to feel supported. And so I want you guys to try to support your downline. So whether or not you have 2 people in your downline or 102 people or 302 people, always remember that at the beginning of the month to go into your dashboard and send this message out that just basically says, hey, this is who I am. I'm here to help you. Please reach up if you need anything. This is one of those businesses that can be somewhat overwhelming when you first start. And if you have a lot of people reaching out to you saying they're here to help, it makes a difference. So there is how you're going to do that. You go to your dashboard, go to messages, create a new message, and there's actually a function that will allow you to sort it so that only the new consultants that joined last month will be there. It'll automatically put those into the to box, and then you can type your message and it'll be sent to all of them at one time. So it won't take you a lot of time, but it will mean a lot. I actually did mine 2 or 3 days ago, and some months, it's so funny, I don't get a response from anyone. And some months I get like tons of emails back. So, and this month was actually one of those where I've gotten a huge response back from people saying thanks. So it means a lot. So please try to do that. Okay, summits. So the one here in Charlotte, if you live close by or within driving distance, please come join us. Basically what's going to happen is they're going to do some training stuff and they're going to reveal the new catalog to us basically while all of us sit in a movie theater together. So it's something they've never done before, so should be interesting to be there together and do this. I will be setting up an event for here in Charlotte. I would love to do dinner and a movie, so I will be planning that as that stuff comes down from home office. I'd like for other people to kind of step up and say, take the lead for other locations if we've got people all over the United States. So I'd love for at least if you're going to a summit to maybe find one other Jedi that's there and be able to have someone else to go with. So please let me know where your location is that you're planning on attending, and I can try to facilitate making sure that there's someone else there. Okay, December and in-home inventory. I did speak about this in the video that I did the other day, but I just kind of wanted to reiterate this to you guys. Don't forget about the inventory that you have on hand. So what happens, this will be my 3rd Christmas season with JEdi, and it's the same every year. So you have the shipping cutoff that'll happen. Normally it's been the 10th in the past. This year it's actually the 15th, which I'm super happy about. After that, you find people, wanting to buy things for Christmas. And of course, to be a good salesperson, you need to be able to say to them, you can order it, but I can't guarantee that it's going to make it to your house by the time Christmas gets here. So, you would say that, and if they want to risk it, then fine. And then if not, it's always great to be able to say, hey, I've got a heater, I've got an application kit, and I've got this wrap on hand at my house. You're more than welcome to, I can get up with you and I can get it to you. So my first year, of course, didn't know this. And last year I did buy a few things to have on hand, and I sold everything that I had last year. And I've done the same thing again for this Christmas because, I'm definitely one of those that's a procrastinator, and I don't think about Christmas until like maybe like the 15th or something. I don't know. So, you have those people, and then they're running around needing stuff. So, what is I can't remember the saying that I always say, but sell the problem you solve, which I think is what it is. So that is definitely selling the problem that you solve. I need stuff to put in my kid's stocking. What can it be? So think about that. If you're where you confront those kinds of things, or if you have hostess rewards that you can cash out, think about that and have it so that you can, put some cash in your pocket. Don't feel bad about giving Jamberry as gifts at all. So I think that you probably heard me say about the lotion. I always give Nourish to all of my kids' teachers. I've done this for 3 years now, and they all look forward to it. So, find something like that you want to give. Think I printed or I posted on JEdi the Pinterest page or the blog that I use where I do the printouts for the lotion. So I usually just do that and, tie a big red bow around it and attach that little flyer thing. And yeah, that's it. And they love it. So it's an easy way for you to be able to give someone product, let them use it for free. It's a no investment kind of thing, and it's great for you because chances are they're going to love it, and then they're going to be like, hey, that whatever you gave me, I really loved, and I'd like to buy more of that. So it's okay to give what you sell. The other thing I was going to say is thank your customers. I know that some of you have seen the holiday petty packs that I put on JEdi. Those are fun. I'm in the process right now of trying to write out Christmas cards to a lot of my customers that I've had this year that have bought. I think I made like a cutoff of if they've spent $50 or more, then I'm sending them a Christmas card with something in it. So I'm doing some of those petty packs. Some of them I'm sending a mani pack, and some of them I'm just sending them a sheet of accent wraps. So oh, it says I'll show you. I will not show you because I'm upstairs. Sorry. So I just went to Marshall's and bought a box of $4 cards and wrote a little message inside and have printed off those petty packs on cardstock. So I didn't have a lot in it, but I know that people will like it. It was actually funny. I went to an event this week and one of my customers was there, and I asked her, I said, if I were going to send you a Christmas card, from Jam and Jill, what would you want to have in it? Would you want to have a petty pack, or would you want to have, an accent sheet? And she said, I would be super happy to get either of those. So from a customer standpoint, I think sometimes we kind of don't think about how much they would like to get something like that in their card. It kind of is old news to us because we do it. So just don't discount doing something nice for someone. They'll appreciate it. Okay, Christmas trick. So I'm sure that many of you saw my gift card post today that I posted. For those that didn't, I basically put out a question just on my Jam and Jill, regular page, just as a post that said, hey, I'm thinking about giving gift cards. I need everyone to tell me, would you rather have a Target gift card or would you rather have a Starbucks gift card? Now, one, do you think that I really wanted to know that? And two, you have to think, was there something else behind that? So the reason why I did that was, one, it's a quick way for you to find out who's reading your post, meaning, okay, my posts are showing up in that person's feed. Two, I wanted people to comment because it's a loaded question that we're all women and we all want to give our opinion and we all want people to see. So I wanted people to post. So I wanted a question that I knew would get a reaction out of people. And I did kind of really wanted to know because I do have to buy gift cards this week. But I am one of those people that I get in my mind what I'm going to do and I'm just going to do it. But the biggest reason was tomorrow I plan on posting something about Jamberry that I want a lot of people to see. And so the way that it works with Facebook is whenever you post something and someone likes it, that's great. But when they comment, Facebook then puts those two things together and says, hey, this person and this person must really care about each other and they really want to see what each other has to say. So what happens then is I'm going to start showing up in that person's feed because they commented on one of my previous posts. So you want to do questions like this pretty often, especially when you want to make a big announcement about something. So I always do this ever so often. So now you're all going to have the secret to my, um, whenever you see a question out there like this, you're going to know what I'm doing and not answer it anymore. But that's why. So think about these kind of things and be strategic about asking questions, loaded questions that people, of course, want to give you their opinion on. And be strategic about those kinds of things. Um, all right. So January incentive. There's plenty of things about January to be excited about. I kind of just wanted to let you guys know the ones that weren't around last January. Typically, the company does double points. So what will happen is towards the end of the month, Janbury Home Office will announce the incentive trip, and they'll make this great huge video about how fantastic the incentive trip's going to be, and tell us where we're going. And so then in January, typically what happens is they have double trip points. And so double trip points mean normally for America, if we sell 500 in PRV, that means we would get 1,000 trip points. So you're going to double. They also offer double rewards for your customers. So it's also, it's an incentive for you to book parties. So this is something that you need to be thinking about now, that you can't wait until, the second week in January to decide you want to do something in January. So plenty of you have messaged me and asked what I was going to do for my VIP group and such. So I think this is kind of what's in my brain right now as far as what I think I might do. It might change just a little bit, but I want to tell you kind of the my thinking behind why I'm going to do it this way. So I think I'm going to offer a $25 gift card, Janbury gift card for parties that reach over $250 in sales. And I'm going to tell them that if their party reaches $250 in sales, then on the 10th of February, I'm going to send them a code for a gift card that they can then use to purchase new wraps in March. Okay. Now, why would I do this? So I would do this, one, because if I purchase a gift card in January, that $25, which is 25 PRV, turns into 50 PRV for me, which is, double trip points. And I'm waiting till February because, one, I want them to either use it as going, going, gone, because we know that in February, going, going, gone is going to be there. And then I also, if they're not going to use it for that, then they'll turn around and use it for new wraps in March because the new catalog launches in March. Now, I find the $25 gift card interesting because you and I both know that sheet of wraps is $15. Okay, so you're not going to let that $10 go to waste. So you're probably going to at least buy another sheet to make it 30. And I'm of the mindset if I've spent 30, I might as well spend 45. So it turns into more PRV for you in March. So while it will be a little bit of an investment up front for you or for me, I think it'll pay out in the long run. So again, this is what I'm going to do. This is not what you need to do. But I do encourage you to think outside the box, to book as many parties as you can for January because it will pay off. Most of the people that earn the incentive trip earn it in January. Not like they earn it like the whole thing in January, but because they have a great January, it puts them on the path to being able to earn the trip in general for the entire year. So just start thinking now of what you want to do, and then that way you can put it out there for all of your customers. Okay. Now, so I was trying to think about what I wanted to talk about this Sunday, and I was actually talking. I'm just going to totally throw her under the bus. I was talking to Christy Spivey, I don't know, Thursday or Friday. I don't even know what day it was. And I had shared with her that I was kind of going back and forth about what I wanted to talk about tonight. And I said, do you have any suggestions of things that you want to talk about? And so she immediately hit me back and she said, well, I'll tell you what I want to talk about. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not. And I said, well, what? And she said, I want to know what you've been doing these past 4 months. And I laughed at first, and then I thought, well, okay, that totally makes sense. So to give you guys a little bit of history, my Jamberry journey has been one that has been up and down. And just like you guys, I have moments where I love Jamberry, and then I have other moments where I don't love Jamberry. And I have 3 kids, and I have a husband who works all the time, and I'm busy doing other things, and life is busy, and oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time for Jamberry, and nobody wants to buy from me, and all that you guys feel, I feel that too. So I was in a slump for a while, and I just decided in August that um, I wanted it to be different. Period. It was going to be different. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So change has to be deliberate. Period. You have to make that decision, and you have to want it. So first thing that I want to do is ask you guys who knows what the definition of insanity is, and not the mentally ill, but what Albert Einstein's definition of insanity is. Write it in the chat box. Go. And I want to see who writes. Does anybody have it? Does anybody have it? Yes. Okay, good. I didn't just make that up. Okay, so you're right. So Albert Einstein says that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Why do we do this? I don't know why we do this. I do this. You grumble and get so irritated about why things aren't changing, but you're doing the exact same thing all the time. And if you sit down and think about it, it does make me chuckle because it's such a simple concept. And I feel like it's such an easy thing to get in a rut with Jamberry where, you're treating it the same every single day, every single week, every single month. And you wonder why you're not going in a different direction. So this was the first thing kind of that I thought about where I knew that I had to figure out a way to make things different, change it. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance for the number of saying/slides that I put up here in the next 30 minutes. I don't know if you guys collect these kinds of things, and I don't necessarily collect them, but if I see something when I'm reading or whatever, I'll screenshot it, and I have a little file on my computer that I put them in. And I love this because, there are times when I'm trying to think about something that I want to say either to you guys or to anything, and I'll go through and I'll look through these, and I always end up getting inspired because most of these sayings are so simple, but they're perfect. And they end up being exactly what I needed. And so I ended up going through my whole file of all these little sayings that are there and was just kind of reading through them. And so this one that's on the left, if you change nothing, then nothing will change. It's sort of like Albert Einstein. So this is actually one of my faves that I actually have up in different places on my computer, and I have it printed out on my desk. But it's so true. So, and then the other one is also super awesome because you think about when someone joins Jamberry, they think that they're they're going to join, and then within 3 months they're going to be just rich, just stinking rich, and that's hilarious to me because it doesn't take long to make a lot of money in this business if you're working. But for some reason, 2 to 5 years in a business like ours seems like forever. But someone will go to a job for 30 and 40 years and not expect the same thing. So I think you have to think about what you're expecting out of this job that you've chosen. Okay, so here is where I was. So this is actually my personal performance kind of chart that's on your workstation. And so you guys can see this was my PRV this year. So you can see in February, clearly I was over it. And over in July, clearly I was over it. Okay, so what I would like to remind you of looking at this is, I have a team of over 600 people. And so I personally have to make 700 or have $700 in PRV each month to even think about making anything on any of you. That is substantial. So when I looked at this today, it kind of made me laugh because, I've got 1, 2, 3 months out of the year where I didn't care so much that I didn't even care about even getting to 700. I mean, the amount of money that I might have thrown away those months um, wasn't even worth it to me. So it should sort of show you where my head is at sometimes. But I feel like I want you guys to know that I'm always an open book when it comes to this kind of stuff with you because, um, I'm real and that's just it. So, um, yeah, so there's that. And so then there's the ranks that go along with them. And so it's interesting to me that, you rank up and then you think, oh, well, you know, I'm an executive. I'm an executive now. So I'm always going to be an executive. No, it doesn't work that way. And there's plenty of months that a lot of you this past year outranked me a lot of times. Um, Whether or not it be that, it didn't work out but with my downlines where people, hit the right rank to rank me up, or if it was one of those months where I just said, I don't feel like selling anything this month. It happens. So, but the biggest thing that I want to point out here is so in July, I was an advanced consultant, which, if you are at all familiar with the chart, the advanced consultant is literally the first rank on the chart. Um, and when I got home from conference, um, was when I sat down and pondered all of these things that I'm going to share with you. And so there's been a constant kind of change that's happened over the past 4 months. So I'm hoping to continue that trend. Okay, so I have this slide. When you do more than you're paid for, eventually you'll be paid for more than what you do. Yeah, that sounds good. And so I decided in August that the half-ass work model that I was doing was giving me half-ass pay, and I was tired of that. So I wanted to change it. All right, so let's be honest for a minute. Do you hear this from yourself or from your downline? And I know that some of you do because you talk to me about it. I'm so busy. I've been working so hard. I have tried everything. I can't do it. No one wants to buy Jamberry from me. I can't do this job. Okay, really? Um, I have said this like a million times. I make excuses for everything. So the runner and me related to this. So for those of you that don't know, I enjoy running. It's probably my favorite hobby. But anytime I run a race, I always have that moment where I think, could I run faster? Um, could I run longer? Did I give it everything I had? Was I breathless when I finished? And most of the time, whenever I ask myself those questions about running, I can always say, I could have ran harder. I should have sprinted at the end. I was not breathless. I shouldn't have been able to talk. Like there's always those things. And so it made me think, why don't I ask myself those same questions about Jamberry? Um, so I decided to do that. So did I use every opportunity that I had to share Jamberry? No. And what I mean by that is, um, how many of you have done this? You go into a store and you're buying a pair of shoes or something like that, and you say, you hand your credit card over, and the teller, the person there says, "Oh my gosh, your nails are so cute." How many times have you said thanks and moved right along? I do that sometimes because I'll do that thing where I'm like, I don't feel like talking about this right now. I do not want to talk about this. So I say thanks and I move on and I don't share the opportunity with them. That's what I mean by that. Um, did I follow up all the ways that I should? Someone purchases from me. Did I take the time to make sure that they got their wraps, that they could put them on, that they didn't put them in a drawer? Did I encourage my team and I always try to be helpful? How many times have you had, someone reach out to you and you say, "Oh gosh, I got to get back to them," and then it never happens? Or you go down through your genealogy and you say, "Oh my gosh, this person, I haven't seen anything from her, and I wonder what happened. I wonder if she's okay." Um, those kinds of things. Did I ask for the sale? Did I ask for the party? Did I ask for the recruit? Most of the time, no. All of that, no. Most of the time for me. So I decided that those were the things that I had to start consciously thinking about. Um, but more importantly, past all of those things that I just posted, was I happy with my business and with my product and with my team? Nope, 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 nope. I wasn't happy with where I was. I was in a place with the product where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to wear, so I'll just wear nothing. Um, and you get in a place with your team where people are jumping on, people are jumping off, and you start to take it personally, and you start to feel overwhelmed. And so for me, I usually turn and walk away whenever I start to feel that way. So all of those things kind of were sitting on my shoulders, and it was just easiest for me to just say, I don't want to do this right now. Um, so, um, what I decided was two things. One, it feels good to run fast, and this has nothing to do with Jamberry. And two, it feels really great to be successful Jam Mama. So those are two things that make me happy. And so those two things became my goal for starting in August. So three things that I needed to do. I needed to, one, get some new customers. I needed new people to share Jamberry with. Two, I needed to reconnect with the people that had bought with me in the past, but that I had somehow let fall through the cracks. Um, and I needed to figure out a way to reach them. And three, I needed some new recruits. Hello, all of my Australian ladies. Okay, so what am I going to change? All right, so these were the three things, and I literally wrote these down. I have these in a notebook that I wrote down whenever I got back from conference beginning of August. One, this one's super important, and this is a touchy subject, and I'm just going to just be super real about this. One, I needed to evaluate how I used Facebook. Unfortunately and fortunately, our business is done on Facebook. And I don't know about you guys, but Facebook is one of those moments. I call them squirrel moments, but it's like, you get online and you're going to work. And then all of a sudden, you found yourself on someone's page that you don't even know, and you're reading about how this, and this happened to her and her brother and her husband and her kid. And like, all of a sudden you're thinking, I was supposed to be working, and now I'm reading about this girl that I don't even know. So I decided that I had to control my work environment. And unfortunately, my work environment is Facebook. So I did a couple things to do this. So I put down work times that I was going to work from this time to this time. And so for me, I found that working in the morning is better for me, more focused. My kids are not running around, and it's quiet in my house. So I decided that from 6 until 7:30 every morning was going to be my designated work time. Like, you have to get stuff done. Now, if I end up working, kind of sporadically throughout the rest of the day, then great. But those were my hours. That's when I was working. I decided that whenever I got on to work, that I would do what I needed to on Facebook, and I would close that out. So if I'm in my workstation, or if I'm sending emails, or whatever it is that I'm doing, Facebook is not even a tab open on my screen. So a lot of times in the morning, I get up first thing, I'll make a post to you guys in the pages, and then I close it because I see that little tab over there that says Facebook. It's like a squirrel for me. I just want to get over there and start reading what everybody's posting they've done the night before. And then the other thing that I've done that was huge for me, and probably the biggest thing, was I hid a lot of groups. You start collecting groups when you join Jamberry. Everybody has a group for something. And I know what I mean. So it's like this group of people has a group, and then all of a sudden you're in a trade group, and then you're in Jamberry's homepage group, and then you're in leaders group, and then I've got a group for the leaders over here, and then my own leaders, and then everybody's got a team page, and I'm on all those team pages. And so what ended up happening was I would jump on Facebook, and all these groups would consume me, and I would start, reading over here and start answering, and then reading over here. And then next thing I know, my hour and a half that I said I was going to be working has been chewed up by Facebook reading stuff that it didn't matter. So I hid a lot of stuff. I also hid things that were negative. I don't want to read about people complaining about Jamberry. I don't want to, let that enter my mind where people are saying things that are not going to make me money and make me feel better about this business that I've chose. So hiding groups. Now, when you hide a group, if you're not familiar with this, I was a little scared because I was kind of like, I don't, want these people to know that I'm not reading their stuff. if they need you bad enough, they will tag you. They will tag you, and then you'll see it. Um, and if you feel the need to say, hey, I'm hiding this because I can't stay on track, that's okay too. If you really need me, tag me. But I think that kind of goes without saying. So basically, what this does when you hide the group, it just makes it where it doesn't show up in your feed. Now, there are plenty of times when I have a little extra time during the day. And do I go over to the trade group and start looking at those wraps that are in there? Heck yeah. And, do I go over and, check out so and so's team page? Heck yeah. But I don't do it when it's my work hours. And that's the big difference. Um, so, designated work time, I would suggest that you find a time that you're your best. It's quiet, you're alert, you can stay focused, like all that kind of stuff. It's different for everybody. For me, it's the morning time. And I'm also fortunate that my husband is very supportive of my Jamberry business. He always has been from the very moment I started. And, he gives me 2 mornings a week where he actually gets up with the kids and feeds them breakfast and packs lunches. And so I actually end up having about 2.5 hours instead of 1.5 hours. So it's good, but you just need to find a time that works and make it and be consistent. Um, the other thing, make a goal. What are you doing this for? Why are you getting up and working? Why are you, going and having parties? Why are you doing it? Because if you don't know that, then none of this other stuff matters. For me, it is January pays the bills. I mean, I'm just being dead honest. Like, I have to have it. And this is a matter of, my husband and I have gone back and forth with me trying to go back to work. And, we have 3 small children. And so you have to think about childcare. And we've decided that it makes more sense for me to work my Jamberry business than it does for me to go back and start working again because of childcare. I can sit and do this and keep my kids where, they're here with me. So find your goal, and that needs to be the first thing that you write down. So I always, at the beginning of the month, and I have since August, I write down exactly what my PRV has to be, not what I want it to be, what it has to be. I write down how many parties I have to have. I write down how many recruits I have to have. And I write down the amount of money that I'm going to make for that month. Those are the things that I write down on my own personal goal sheet. And I write them like that because I'm not asking for it. That's what's going to happen. And there's a difference. Okay, so back what we were talking about a minute ago about reconnecting with all of my old customers. This is such a bad, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to, once someone buys something, to keep in contact with people. And Facebook helps because you can add them to groups, and there we go with some more groups. But people hide groups. So you got to figure out a way to still keep in touch with them. And I know I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, I mentioned FISBE for the first time. FISBE was created, I'm pretty sure, by a Jamberry consultant, her and her husband. And they are kind of in the loop with things that are coming down the pipe and things that are going to be out there. They have all of our pictures and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure she's loaded now. But anyway, she's figured out a way to send a newsletter that looks great and it looks like it's coming from you. So whenever I put it out there initially for everyone as, hey, I found this, I'm going to try it out. I can't speak to it. But I wanted you guys to at least know about it. This is me coming back to tell you that FISBE is amazing. Like, I'm so happy that I took the leap to do it and just go ahead and pay for it and be done with it. I truly think that it's made a huge impact in my business. I'm completely convinced that it's solely what caused me to have probably over $600 in sales on my Black Friday, and probably, I think I did $400 on Giving Tuesday. I have never in my last 2 years before this year, Black Friday, done sales like that. I think that the constant reminders of what was coming up, the photos, all that kind of stuff, truly made a big difference. So I'm going to go and pull some FISBE stuff for you guys in just a second. But I did want to go over the sales statistics. I love this slide because I think sometimes people forget that multiple contacts is not always a bad thing. And put yourself on the other side of that. How many of us buy something because we see it the first time? Most of the time, not. Um, you usually are. It's in your face. It's in your face. It's in your face. It's in your face. And then finally, you're like, oh my gosh! I mean, you know what? I'm going to buy that. Um, and I think sometimes we get worried that we're going to irritate people, but we have to remember that those multiple contacts are what's going to really kind of drive your business. And so I feel like personally, Frisbee is one of those that allows me to touch my customers multiple times without me having to think about it, because we all have plenty of other things to think about. So I'm going to go and show you guys kind of what Frisbee looks like. So first thing I'm going to show you is this. So when Frisbee sends out a newsletter, so I signed up for, actually, let me go here, show you first. Okay, so this is what Frisbee looks like whenever you log in. You're allowed to, fix your profile. So when you go to do that, here's all your information that you can load in. You can load your, picture, all of your social media stuff. You can do your own greeting on there, all that. So you can fix all of that. And once you sign in and do that, that would probably be the first. It kind of walks you through step by step. It's super easy. And then subscribers. And this is what's so great about this, because any of you that have tried to do a newsletter before, like MailChimp, or I've tried a couple other ones. The problem is the way our Jamberry back office is, where they load our customers, they're inverted. The front and first and last names are inverted, and I feel like one of the other columns is messed up. Anyway, they don't transfer right. So what happens is when we try to transfer out of Jamberry into a saved file on our computer and then to upload it into another outstanding system, it doesn't match. So everything gets all jumbled up and it turns into being a nightmare. And for me, someone that I don't really know that much about it, it turns into immediately, I can't do this because I don't have time to sit here and figure this out. But what they did with Frisbee is they made all those columns match, so that when you download to your computer from your customer base and your dashboard and then upload to Frisbee, everything just matches so perfectly. Names there, what they, their email addresses. I mean, you don't have to do anything. So you can do a bulk load, which is what I was just describing. And then add a subscriber, which is now where I'm at, where like today I had a party. I'm going to tonight later add 10 email addresses into Frisbee just like this because of the 10 that I gathered today. So last 3 weeks ago when I was doing the Christmas show, every night when I came home from the Christmas show, I would enter in however many contacts I got at the Christmas show. I would physically add them in each night. And so what I've decided to do as far as my subscription is I have the premium one, which the reason why I chose that one is because it sends the beginning of the month newsletter, and then it also sends a mid-month newsletter. And so that was really the only reason that I chose that one, because I wanted them to be able to get 2 contacts a month for me. And it's worked out really great these past couple of months, because it seems like we always have something new mid-month. So for instance, in November, that was when we came out with the holiday boxes. So, it was something new that they had not heard about from the beginning. And had I only done a 1 month, once a month newsletter, they wouldn't have heard about the boxes until, the beginning of December. If that makes any sense. They also did stuff for Black Friday. That was kind of a bonus, which was super nice. So I think in November, my subscribers ended up getting I think four emails from me, which is super. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go over here and show you guys this. So a couple days before the newsletter goes out, you get this. So this is just, hey there, here's a preview of what's coming up. And it just kind of gives you kind of what the backstory is to all the stuff that's in the newsletter. And then it gives you what the customers are going to see. So, you see that it's got my stuff there, my email, and then it looks like it's coming for me. So at the end, have a lovely November, Jill. Okay, so it looks like I really did something really awesome and did all this great stuff when really I didn't do any of it. All these links will go straight to my website. And then the giveaway is actually done by FISB. And so the giveaway would be for all of the FISB customers, which is, again, quite a lot of people. But what's awesome about this is when you enter the giveaway, it usually asks you a question. So, for instance, this month with this one, it asked, what was your favorite like holiday wrap or something like that. And whenever they enter that and answer the question where it goes into the big database for the giveaway, what it also does is send me an email personally that says, hey, Christy Spivey read your newsletter today, and she entered the giveaway, and she told us that I don't know, Santa suit was her favorite holiday wrap. Well, what that does for me is, one, that tells me what her favorite holiday wrap is, sure. But if I don't see, in the next couple of weeks that Christy Spivey has gone and really bought Santa suit, I can send her an email and say, hey, I got an email that says you really love Santa suit. Like, let me know if that's something that you'd like to order, and I'm happy to get it ordered for you and send you an invoice, whatever it be. So it's a way for you to kind of reach out and have a personal kind of contact with that person. I was blown away. I had two people from this giveaway that responded to my giveaway, and I'm telling you, they had not ordered anything from me in like 2 years. Like, I had completely forgot that they'd ever ordered from me. And I reached out to both of them, and I ended up getting Black Friday orders from both of them, just because they had answered this question, which basically told me if they cared enough to answer the question, then they probably still want to buy Jamberry. They just need a little bit of interaction. So I just from that alone love that. Okay, so then I want to go. I had my my friend send me what it looks like when she gets my newsletter. So this is my friend JC, and so this is what she gets from me. So whenever she opens her newsletter from me, she gets this, and then hey, here's my name, a link to go directly to my website, and here it is telling her all about the Black Friday stuff. So short and sweet. She can choose to opt out or delete or whatever, but at least is given her a blurb. So, where are we? Anyway, that's FISB. I will totally put my link back up to join if that's something that you want to do. I don't have any stock in FISB. I don't have, I'm not getting a kickback or whatever. I just really think that it's made a huge difference in my business. And I'm definitely looking for ways to kind of interact with my customers and me not have to put a lot of effort into it outside of what I'm already doing. So this is just a way for me to touch them without having to think about it. So I'll put it out there. If that's something that you want to do, I would appreciate you going through my link. I know that there's several other leaders on here that also have FISB accounts. So, definitely don't just go at it blind, like click somebody's link and give them the credit for it. So, all right. All right, let me open this back up. Okay, so be deliberate and consistent. So I work on my business at least 1 hour every day. About the only time that this doesn't happen is on Sundays, because I try to do family days on Sundays. But days like today, I make up for that because I feel like I'm doing Jamboree all day. Be a positive force on your team page. Negativity breeds negativity. And if you allow that to happen around you, all of a sudden everybody's going to wake up and realize that everybody's in the tubes. So don't let it happen. Just, try to be positive, and a good light for everybody around you. I am not saying that it's not okay to have your person that you contact to say that you think something is awful, because we all have it. And there are plenty of times that I think things suck. So, of course, have your times, but just make sure that there are, that's not something that you're posting on your team pages, especially. Be encouraging. Everybody, what, I don't even know what the saying is, that everybody's going through something. It's true. We all have our crap. And most of the time it doesn't have anything to do with Jamberry. Life's hard, and it's always nice. You don't realize how you're impacting someone else when you are just encouraging. I have made it a goal to post in my VIP group and my business page at least 4 times a week. I couldn't believe whenever I sat down to think about, kind of what I was doing. I went to my business, I went to my business page, and I looked to see how much I'd posted on there, and it was like once a month, maybe, if that. I mean, it was just awful. And I was thinking to myself, how in the world am I supposed to keep these people informed when I can't even post on this page? So you've got to be deliberate about making sure that your customers know what's going on. It was also a thing for me that I never cancel a JEdi meeting. Sunday's my day. You guys don't know me well enough to know this, but my husband works 6 days a week. So Sundays is our only day to be a family and do things together. And it's hard sometimes because a lot of times I plan these meetings on Sunday, and then I ended up having to do them on Sunday night. And it's very tempting to me to be like, oh my gosh, we're not having it. We're not having it. But it's important. I think it's important for us to get together. And if I can't make it important for my own self, then how would I expect you guys to make it important? So that's another thing that I decided that I would not do. I decided that I also wanted to build up my leaders and help them feel supported. So for those of you that don't know this, I have a leaders group that when you hit team manager, they're called the JEdi Council, and which I love. It's my favorite name ever. So you get to be a part of JEdi Council when you hit team manager, and that page was just desolate. I mean, like, it was just the biggest joke. And so I decided that I wanted it to be a great place for my leaders, for them to talk and to bounce ideas and to feel supported and encouraged. And we have our own incentives on that page, and like it's turned into this really great spot. And I feel like that's super important. Love Jamberry. I feel like sometimes I get to the point where I'm not only over it, but like I don't want to wear the wraps. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. And if you don't love it, then how can you sell it? I feel like I tell this story a lot, but when Amber Parnell joined Jamberry, I couldn't, like, she was like bleeding Jamberry. Like, and I just wanted to be like, how is she doing that? And her team exploded. Like, she was just everything Jamberry. It was so great. I mean, I wanted to be on her team. I wanted to be like, I don't want to be on JEdi anymore. I want to go over here and be on Amber's team. It was great. Like, the energy that came from her was just amazing. And so I always think about that when I think about Love and Jamberry. You have to come to a place where you enjoy what you do. I mean, you elected to do this. You paid $99 and you said, I want to sell Jamberry because it's cool, or whatever it was. So you have to continue to feel that way. So I think that you have to wake up every morning and you have to decide that I love Jamberry today. Like, I love it. And believe it. Follow up once a week, every week. So what this means is, I know on Monday mornings, so if any of you are up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday mornings, 6 o'clock on Monday mornings is my follow-up day. So what I do is I go into my customers that have ordered. So I go into my orders and I go back for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I go through all those people. And I say, did I email them and tell them thank you? Yes. Did I email them a week later and did I ask if they got their wraps? Yes. And then I say, sometimes I do this, and I can't say I always do because it gets to the gray area, but it would be nice after a month for me to go back to those people and say, hey, I'm just checking up on you. Did you put your wraps on, or did you put them in a drawer? Because this is stuff that you want to know. I mean, how many people have you met that they've said to you, oh, I've bought Jamberry before. I bought it. I don't even know what to do with it. It's in a drawer. I can't even tell you how many people I met at the Christmas show this year that said that to me. And I laughed because I said, I'm getting ready to steal you as a customer, because all you have to do is care about somebody and help them to figure that out. And we all know that once you put Jamberry on, you're hooked. So that's really all you have to do. Just get them to put it on. So follow up, make it a deliberate time. This is what I do on this day at this hour. So I know that. So now Monday mornings have become a habit for me and follow up. Okay. So, time to put your big girl panties on. Here's some more slides for you. Dreams don't work unless you do. All right. There is not, I mean, if you guys find out how to do that where you can make money at this business and not have to work, please, please do tell me what that is, because I would like to do that. I work. I work. I work. I get up in the morning. I on purpose. I go run for an hour from 4:45 a.m. until 6 a.m. I come back in my house. I sit in my basement for an hour and a half. I do my Jamberry work. I then take care of my kids until they leave from school. Like, I work. I'm deliberate about what I'm doing. This is not just falling out of the sky for me. And so I think that you have to realize when you want something bad enough, you work for it and it'll come to you. And I can honestly say that I feel like the work that I've put in over the past couple of months has happened for me. It's paid off. Um, so there's two things that I want to say about these two slides. I can't. I've got to be almost finished. Life is good because I decided to make it that way. This is a huge, huge saying in my house. You make your own destiny, and you decide if you're going to be happy today. You decide if you're going to be sad today. You decide all of it, and you decide it because you wake up and you tell yourself that it's so. And for a long time with Jamberry, I was in a rut, and I had told myself that it was hard and that no one wanted to buy from me and that no one wanted to join under me and that no one wanted to book a party with me and blah, 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 and so on. So there's one. That's one. That slide. I love that one. Now, this other one on here on the other side where it says Jill Singer Executive. I put this here because I wanted to share with you guys that I made this slide a year ago. A year ago, I made that slide. And last Christmas, my husband got me a new computer for Christmas, and this slide was actually made on my old computer, and I had it as my screensaver. And when I got my new computer, I transferred my stuff over, and for some reason, I just didn't feel like it was necessary to put that anywhere where I could see it anymore. And I've occasionally looked at it, and it's been a goal, but up until September, it hadn't really been in the forefront of my brain. And so in September, I made that my screensaver. And so it's something that I saw every single day since at some point in September. And so much so that I was laughing because my husband one day came past my computer and was like, "Oh, I hadn't seen that slide in a long time." But I just find it really interesting that that slide makes me happy. And for some reason, it got lost for a period of time. And the moment that I brought it back, I think that it really brought that to my attention that that's what I wanted to happen. So anyway, so this morning when I was doing all the work for you guys for this meeting, so of course we're Star Wars fans and we're prepping for the new movie. And my 5 and 6-year-old, we watched all 6 episodes over the weekend. And my husband was actually watching the last episode with them this morning. No, they were watching 5. Anyway, I heard them downstairs, and it was hilarious because I was literally right to this point in the presentation, and it made me smile because I heard him say, "Girls, do you understand why this is important?" And so he explained to them that Luke had just said, "I don't believe it will happen." And Yoda said, "Then that is why you fail." And I remind you that your mind is a powerful thing. And I think that if you say you're going to fail, if you say something sucks, if you say something's awful, if you say it's not going to happen, then you've already put yourself in a hole. And I think that's the difference for me is that in August, I decided that I wasn't going to fail anymore, that I wasn't going to be 200 PRV and, just an advanced consultant. Like, that's not going to happen anymore to me. And then I took the necessary steps to make that where I was not going to fail anymore. Okay, so all that being said, now is the perfect time for you to make a decision. It's a new year. Get a new attitude, get new goals, get a new jam business. Jamberry is, it's one of those things that if you just work, it'll happen for you. January is a good time. So think about it this week. Now's the time to think about what you want to do differently. Um, I am blessed, and we all are, that we have this job that we can work sometimes and sometimes take it off. I intentionally made my month this month where today was my last day of working. Um, I have about 1,000 PRV. Um, I have hustled. I had this meeting with you guys today. Um, and then pretty much after I put my orders in for my party today, I'm done. And I have worked my fanny off these past 6 days to make it where that's going to happen. But it's December, and December is about your family, and my kids are going to be off school, and I want to be able to do things fun with them and not have to think about, doing Jamberry stuff. So if you plan ahead and think, this business is amazing, to be able to allow us to do both. So, all right. So, lastly, of course, Merry Christmas. I When I say that I'm not going to work the rest of the month, of course I'm going to be around. I just mean about the hard grinding and hustling is over after today. So, um, of course, I'll be here if you guys need anything or whatever. But I hope that all of you have a tremendous Christmas, and please know that I'm so grateful for all of you, and that you landed somehow with me on this team. So I'm dying to read the chat box because I intentionally hit it. Yeah, so please reach out if you need anything. I have all of these chats that I will be reading over um, later tonight, so that I can see what all you guys were talking about while I couldn't see it. Does anybody else have anything, any of the leaders have anything you want to say while you have the opportunity? Take yourself off mute and say it if you want. Anybody?
I do. Um, if the Australian stock and everything is out of stock and that's causing us a few issues, one of the suggestions from my team, Chelsea, she said, can you purchase or get the customer to purchase a gift card? And would that technically be the same thing? Because then they can use their gift card when everything comes back in stock, and then you can at least still place the orders.
Yes, ma'am. I was going to have this conversation with you after we got finished. So PRV, the gift card will give you PRV this month. And they could allow that will allow them to buy it whenever it comes back into stock. So wherever that's, this month or next month or whatever. But yes, gift cards are the option. The only drawback to that is that people want something in their hands. And so you're just going to have to be really upfront and honest with them about, you know, you're going to get a gift card, but that doesn't mean you're going to get your Jamberry any faster. So, just be honest about that.
Okay, cool, thanks. Oh, I can fix it.
Anybody else have anything?
What's this?
Okay. All right. I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Please let me know if you need anything. Thank you.